I'm here with Ciaran Doran. He is a technologist and the director of Deep Blue Sapphire to talk about the Content Production and Distribution Summit. So first off, Ciaran, how did it go?
Well, firstly, I was absolutely privileged and honoured to be invited to curate this conference and to chair it with my co-host Amelia Coleman. It was just wonderful, actually. I was pinching myself, is it really going ahead now? Have we got a conference on day one at ISE 2023 here in Barcelona? Yes, we have, and I took photographs of the hall because I couldn't quite believe that not only one session, the first session, but every session was a full house.
And can you tell me about some of the key takeaways from this summit and some of the things that were discussed?
One of the things we wanted to try and do was to bring to the audience here at ISE technologies that are becoming much more available and accessible from the broadcast world, because what we're finding is that brands and corporates are themselves becoming more broadcast-like. In fact, I pose the question, perhaps the brands are the new broadcasters, because the intermediaries that are delivering these content to end users are now changing. And for the first time in a long time, this period in the last few years offers an opportunity for brands and corporates to really access and engage with their end users directly with their own content. So it's no longer that they have to make a content just for an advertisement or a commercial or a piece of programming for their shareholders. They're now making that piece of content and spreading it across a number of different opportunities. One of the technologies that we really focused on today was virtual sets. And we had BK Johannesson here from Unreal Engine. He's a keynote speaker this evening, and he was talking to us all about the Unreal Engine and how it powers the virtual set. But you've got augmented reality, virtual reality, and extended reality, and mixed reality. And all these tools are enabling people to be able to make content, not just more easily, but content which is more flexible across the number of different platforms that they're using it for, be it for the commercial or for the promotion or for the communication in social media or for the games. So we had a great time talking about the new technologies for people who already come to ISE and want to access those.
And what opportunities did this summit highlight for AV industry professionals?
I think what it really demonstrated is that a lot of the let's say, more mature corporations and brands are already out there, sometimes making feature films. I'll give you an example. There are people in BlackRock who are hiring feature film directors. Macallan was talked about today. Macallan, the Scottish whiskey. They did an 8-minute feature film starring Emily Mortimer and with cinematographers and top directors. Mike Newell was the director for that. And we had a clip from them. So there are brands out there that are not just making video content, they're making real, serious video content to truly engage with an audience. And I think with that pioneering spirit, it shows that many other types of organizations at whatever level can actually start to grow into that field and become their own content producers.
You also mentioned that this summit attracted a huge amount of people, a full house if I recall. Do you have any understanding of who in particular was in attendance? What kind of professionals were coming to this summit?
Well, it was a different audience for different parts of the day. We had virtual production in the morning. In the afternoon, we talked about OTT delivery with Rick Allen from ViewLift, who was very inspiring about how companies are able to use platforms like theirs to access global partners around the world. And we had a very exciting session in the afternoon from TV3 Catalunya and their partners CCMA and Radio Catalunya, talking about using the Starlink low Earth orbit satellite network to gather content, because it's one thing to be able to deliver content remotely around the world, but gathering content from remote parts of the world. And we had a live link directly from the end of the world, from Antarctica. They made a direct live link using the Starlink network in the conference just there. And so that was really exciting. So different types of people were coming along, people who wanted to understand what's possible, technical people who wanted to understand how it can be made possible, and the creative sides of organizations who wanted to know, can I do this as well? Is this really possible for me? And I think the answer they went away with was yes.
And we've seen a wonderful summit this afternoon. Like we said, full house. Do you think it'll be back next year, bigger and better?
Absolutely. I hope that I have the privilege again to be invited back to curate next year's conference in 2024, bigger and better.
Wonderful. Ciaran, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.